Seeing it at this angle definitely changes perspective. Hey guys, this is Jules with True Crime Reactions. Disclaimer, everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. Okay, I mentioned in a live a few weeks ago that I had come across some other photos of Xana's room with Ethan on the bed, the whole thing, and the angles of it gave me a better perspective of how the room was really laid out. And it just made me honestly more upset because mainstream media is where we first saw these photos. There was a handful of local Idaho news stations that released some of the Moscow Police Department photos. And as we went through them, there was some questions on, were these flipped? What did they do to these? These seem like there's something wrong. It was sort of difficult to get your bearings because of how blurry and just how blah everything kind of was just thrown out there. Mainstream also didn't come out and give any description. They didn't give any labels, nothing. Like basically just a few minute segments of them running down the case and just throwing photos up on the screen. And even to this day, and I could be wrong, I don't see every channel. I don't watch everybody. I really don't watch like hardly anybody unless you guys direct me to them. But I don't know if there's been other channels that have gone in and showed more of the MPD photos just yet. But I did introduce you guys to a username, a person that I found over on Twitter that was going in and basically archiving everything in a really, really, really easy to navigate website. It's called thespiralindex.com, and I will have a link for it down in the description box. A lot of people that saw me going through this website on the live said it looked like this person might be someone who does like archiving as a hobby or like a professional archivist because it's really well put together. So I'm going to do a video going through all of the photos that is on that website that they have from Officer Snyder's crime scene pics. According to the portal, there's 148 of them. So we're going to go through those soon here, but I wanted to show you guys the picture that I originally saw on mainstream when it came to Xana's room, the one that we talked about. This is also the one that is in the Google Drive link for all the photos that I did find that were released by mainstream when that whole situation did happen. I put them all together. We did a video about it. I put the link out there. That's how they came out. I screenshot, put them together in a file, and threw them out there. So when I saw the more broad range photo that shows more detail, more of the room, more of the actual picture, the entire picture, it does give a completely different perspective. So I'm going to show you the one that we originally saw, and then I'm going to show you the ones that are officially out there from people that are FOIA-ing information and putting everything together. And you're going to see, or at least I'm going to explain to you what I saw, the reason why it looked like it was on a different wall at a different angle. Let's just go ahead and pop them up on the screen. Now, the larger one over here is the one that was put out by mainstream. And again, they showed them up on the screen. I took a quick like print screenshot, put them all together and put them in a link. I didn't do anything freaking else to them. This one over here is the one that's in this index. It's this photo and this one, which has a lot more spatter on it. This one gives you a better perspective of where the bed actually is. So in this one was the photo that we had at the time, the only one that we had at the time. Right here, you see how this like shadows right here? And we've got the bear right here at the end, and then there's like some white on the edge. We know that Xana's door opens this way to a half wall, and that half wall shares the wall with the bathroom. Like it's a shared wall. That's how we know like where everything is positioned. That's why this one looks as if the bed would have been up against the wall that shares the wall with the bathroom. By the way that they have this angle, this weird tilt, this weird shadowing, this looks like a straight line. This looks like the corner of a freaking wall. And this right here looks like that would be where the wall, you know, the hinges are. And this is like the door starting to come out. That's what it looked like to me. And that's what it looked like to a lot of people. But if you look at the broader range photo, you can tell that that's not accurate. So again, with the way that this one looked, it looked like this was the half wall with the door. But as you can see, this is the half wall with the door. This dark spot right here, is it a spot that's like a triangle on the floor where the door is open and it hasn't met the wall yet, so you're just seeing the floor space. It's this piece of furniture over here where this fan is. I literally was like, what the shit, when I saw this bigger photo a while back, because it gave me a completely different look of this room. And the way that this photo looks, the way that it looks to me, as if, again, this is the door in the half wall and that's the wall that shares the wall with the bathroom, the stuff coming out of the back of the house could not have been Ethan's. Could not have been what they were trying to tell us. So then, when the MPD reports started saying how, well, there was a lot of spots over at the apartments next door and on some steps that lead up to 1122 or lead from 1122, or there's just like steps there that lead somewhere in the area that people take a lot. And they tested all those spots and it wasn't blood. It was like drippy, rust, watery, nasty. I was like, okay, well, considering the way that this photo looks, the way that this has given me this perspective of the way that the bedroom was, that might not be what everyone thinks it was. But then we got new information. Then we had Gunderson's body cam come out. He also mentions there being some sort of dried substance that looks like it could be blood in the kitchen sink. I don't know off the top of my head if we saw anything when it came to that being tested or not in the documents. Editing me here. So in the entirety of the supplemental narratives that we received from Moscow Police Department, the kitchen sink is only mentioned one time as a picture that was taken. There's nothing about a swab or anything like that, at least not in the Moscow documents. So let me check the Idaho ones. Now, when it comes to the Idaho State Police records, the word sink is in the 556 pages only 4 times. The first time, it's talking about the fast food containers with Xana's name on them that were near the sink. And then it says there were also red-colored drips on the north side cabinets near the sink and a red-colored liquid drop on the floor. The red-colored marks appeared to possibly be blood. Okay, so Jeffrey Talbot's report, which he is the person who was placed as the lead for ISP's helping situation to Moscow. He went to the scene. Now, I'm still questioning what Talbot does have in his report, because he has that he got there at 2:41 and that when he got there, Blaker and Payne were already there, but that's not true. We know from other reports and from interviews that have come out that they were actually physically still at the building doing interviews at this time. So I don't know if it's a time change issue from when Talbot, wrote the report or whatnot, but the way that phones and things work that are on, the clocks, the system, the satellites, once you cross into a different time zone, your phone automatically corrects itself. So if he's clocking time when he gets to the crime scene, it would have still been correct for that local time zone. That's just me and my opinion of living this life in this world on this earth and living with the technology that we have right now. So I don't know what's up with the time being incorrect, because it's caused a lot of timeline issues when it comes to the knife sheath actually being found and who found it and all the things, but that's not what this video is about. Now, something about a bathroom sink is also mentioned, but it looks like they do take a swab of a red-colored flake collected from the countertop on the kitchen west of the sink. So nothing about the sink, its actual self. And Gunderson sounds like he's saying it's in the sink. Also in his body cam, another officer says there's blood leaking outside of the house, and it's that exact same spot.
Yeah. There's some blood leaking out. I'm trying to find. Looks like there might be some blood in the sink, but no weapon we've been able to locate. We haven't moved anybody, but I would ascertain it's probably not here. But
Looks like there's some dried blood on the sink, but there's not any around it, and there's no blood droplets on the outside.
But I will say, for that happening and for the positioning obviously being correct for that possibly being the situation, them not having any photos of that back end area of the house where we do see the substance coming out in their crime scene set, I do find interesting, because you think they definitely would have taken photos of it. There's also an article claiming that one of the officers did verify that it was Ethan's blood, but I haven't seen reports. I want reports. That's what we need, is the actual factual information, like the actual factual crime scene photos that show the full perspective, not some weird crop thing that gives you a different perspective. Now, I will also say that there is 182 pictures in Snyder's report when it comes to the index of the photos, and on the Spiral Index's website, there's 148. So there is about 34 pictures missing, but there are still a lot in there that I haven't seen yet. And again, there's probably other sources out there that maybe have posted all of these. I haven't seen it. So when I saw this website, I was really impressed. I was really happy to see that there was more photos. And again, there is a link in the description box to this website so you guys can go and see everything yourselves. It's directly on the website. It doesn't take you to any other places. You can watch the body cam straight on the portal. It doesn't take you to like a YouTube link or anything like that. Again, everything is just on there. Everything just organized. So again, I apologize for having the wrong perspective, but it was based off of the only picture that we had on the inside at the time. And again, it looked like it was the half wall. So that's where my opinion was based off of, what my eyes were physically seeing. But again, now that we have the full perspective, I can definitely say I had it incorrect. So I just hope that they have the reports come out, because again, Matthew Gamet did tell me that they were getting information together to release from ISP, but I don't know if that's going to involve any of this, because we haven't seen anybody really talking about this whatsoever in any of the documents so far. But for now, let me know what you guys are thinking about this stuff down in the comments. If you like the way that I present this information and give my opinion, please don't forget to leave a like on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed already. And please don't forget to make sure that that notification bell is set to all so you don't miss any of my rants, reviews, reactions, updates, or deep dives. Oh, by the way, did you hear about the monkeys with herpes and other crazy diseases that escaped from a truck accident in Mississippi yesterday? That's crazy. And these things happen more often than not, which is why I made a video about it and talked about it on my second channel. There's a link for it down in the description box. The thumbnail will look like this. See y'all.